Ladies and gentlemen, the President Works of MMTC PAMP, Mr. Ankur Goyal, is in the house with us, and he will talk to us on the study of silver purity level in silver jewelry across India. With 30 years of experience in precious metal line, with 18 years in gold and silver jewelry manufacturing through lost wax investment casting method, and 12 years in gold and silver refining and minted coin production, Mr. Goyal has an in-depth knowledge of gold and silver metallurgy, master alloys, gold and silver refining from Mining Dore, a BE metallurgy from IIT Roorkee, ME metallurgy from ISC Bangalore, and also attended senior management program at IIM Kolkata. Mr. Goyal is also the curator of the masterclass session. So everyone, as the first exercise of the morning, let's give a warm round of applause to Mr. Ankur Goyal as he takes up his place on the podium. Everyone, all ears for some very startling findings coming up.
Good morning, everybody. So this is a unique study which we have conducted, and I think this idea is which had come from Srivastava also, is how we can really analyze what is the silver jewelry which is there in the country, how good, bad, this thing, because there are lots of what you can say rumors, facts, figures, where people say the manufacturers are using a lot of cadmium, it is there, not there. So what we did was we arranged around 50 samples across the whole whole India, and based on this, I'll run you through this study, how this study was conducted and what are the results. Before that, I'll just, this is the agenda of my presentation. So, I'll brief you about MMTC PAMP a bit, followed by the silver characteristics. I know most of you are well aware of the silver characteristics. And then there are 3 types of studies which we have done. One on the silver jewelry, second on the old coins which are prevalent in the country, and the third on the temple jewelry. And the temple jewelry part I had already shown in my last presentation a year back. And what are the effects of if there are any impurities, what is the effect? And finally, the conclusion. So if we, for MMTC PAMP, if you see, we are into gold and silver refinery. We are the only LBMA accredited for both gold and silver. And we deal with bullion, minted coins, recycled gold. We have also ventured into electronic waste, and we also tie up with various government organizations. And our model is morely, we cater to the minted coins through our retail center. What MMTC PAMP has done is, it has a various number of accreditations, as you see now. It has the LBMA, it has SA8000, it has RJC, both gold and silver, COP and COC for recycled gold. So we can supply what people call as ethical gold to the country. We have ISO standards, and we have been adjudged the best refiners for a number of years. Added advantage is recently we have also gone through the ESG framework, where we have committed to the, for a reduction of the temperature, limiting the temperature up to 1.5 degree by 2030. And that's a unique thing which I think no other refinery in India has yet done it. But I would urge people to just take this also as one of their initiatives. So now going forward, a bit on silver characteristics. I'll just run through it because most of you are aware of it. Silver, this is an interesting slide. I've taken this data from the 2024 Silver Institute. India imports almost 6,800 tons of silver, of which, if you see almost quite an amount of 80% is in jewelry, which is almost 2,700 tons is made jewelry, followed by silverware, which is 1,100. Though the manufacturing in India or the mining in India is very less, only I think Hindustan Zinc is doing up to 700 tons, and there is recycling of 533 tons. So there is a huge amount of silver which is used for silver jewelry, which is exported, consumed in India, and used at various things. These are the various uses. I'm not running through it. You can use it in where the silver is being used: electronics, cars, solar panels, medicines, water purifiers, photography, even for cloud seeding, jewelry, and investment products. This is an interesting slide. What we need to understand here is, and this is the basis of the presentation as I go along, is the metals which you see here. The metals which you see here, silver is good when we combine with gold and copper, but there are other elements which are being added for the ease of working. Earlier, cadmium was being used. We want to analyze whether still cadmium is there in silver jewelry or not. Zinc is being used, nickel is being used. Though cadmium and nickel are now banned in many of the countries, still India has to take that step in a very strong way to ban both cadmium and nickel to be used in the jewelry. So what is silver? Silver, these are the various standard which has been made. A silver alloy which has been clearly specified should be free from cadmium and lead. And that's where, and these are the various purities which we go as from 80% silver to this 99.0% silver. The best silver which is being used, the most of the silver which is the silver jewelry is coming in 92.5. These are the various properties. Most of you people must be knowing about it. Normally we refine silver by two methods: electrolytic refining and chemical refining, to get pure silver, which can reach to up to 4.9 silver or 3.9 silver, and then you add copper to convert it into 92.5, which is used for jewelry. These are the various ISO standards. Silver is being tested by gravimetric, potentiometer, or ICP, and the various ISOs which are there for the, which has been specified for the testing of the silver. This is an important slide where the ASTM standard specifies a 4.9 silver should have a maximum of 100 ppm of copper, bismuth, iron, lead, selenium, tellurium, they're specifying as 5. What we follow in our standards is we take maximum of copper as 30 ppm, and bismuth, iron, and lead are normally not there, but the allowable in our standard, in our acceptance, is only 2%, 2 ppm, which is there. Okay, now coming to the main point of this presentation is the case study of 92.5 jewelry from the market. So what we did, what is the importance of this study? The importance of this study is to investigate if cadmium or any other impurities are there in the jewelry, which will have a harmful effect for the people who are manufacturing it and also the people who will be using it. So how this study can contribute a valuable data aimed at safeguarding consumer health, understanding market trends, and instigating policy reforms to control harmful substance in the industry. So the Indian jewelry market, if you see, is rich in traditional and craftsmanship, involves a vast number of artisans and manufacturers. Due to various purities like cadmium, nickel, etc., which are widely used, making it essential to evaluate practices and enforce standards within its culturally significant industry. So we need to maintain our standards. So we need to understand where are we heading to. So what we did is, and this was help from Srivastava and his team, we collected almost 50 samples, and this was the area where we collected. From the northern region, we collected 12 samples, eastern 2, west around 25, and south 11 samples of jewelry, whether it's a chain, whether it is small pendants, earrings, which was collected, and this was all collected online. No shop no small shops, no jeweler shops. Whatever is being sold online was the basis of our research which was there. And this was then tested by first XRF, because we would like to know what are the impurities which are present, and secondly, for the silver content, to get the accuracy of silver content, it was tested through the potentiometer process, this thing. So, sorry. So these were the jewelry which you see here. They are small pendants, some are chains, some, each of them has locks. The study which was done was to check each and every part of the jewelry. So if it is a pendant and earring with a lock, with a chain, so the study was to check whether the lock is also 92.5, the chain is also 92.5, or the pendant is 92.5. So that was the study, and it took us a lot of time to really analyze all the data, because if you see the XRF data, you get huge number of data, though we have summarized it here. But there was an ample amount of data where you have to statistically remove the outliers and then come to a conclusion. And finally, whatever report which we are giving here is the silver jewelry is by potentiometer process. So these were another set of jewelry. So all that, around 50 samples had been selected, and you can see these things. So before I go into the results, out of 50 sample, what do you think, how many number would have passed the test? 92.5 plus. Any guess? Huh? 30%. 10%. Anybody else? Huh? 70%. Oh, he is from Evental. He has seen it. No, any other guess? 10%, 30%. So I think, no, we are improving. India is improving. The results will show some not so good results, some good results. But the overall emphasis which we were really surprised, and I discussed with Srivastava also, and we were really surprised that things are improving. We are going on a very positive side, and you can see it with these results here. There are almost 32 samples, which is 64%, which are good, positive. You can see the silver content. It is going, everything is more than, some are even 93, instead of 92.5, it is 93.4, and even in certain cases, the lock, pendant is also having the earring screws. Screws was slightly less, 91.3, but I've taken it as positive. So you can have a look. And the best part was, there was only copper or zinc in it. Cadmium was not there. So that was a positive thing, which I think our manufacturers are learning. There's still more need to learn. There's still more need for people to understand, move forward, standardize their manufacturing process. So this is what I would like to congratulate all of you, and this thing that this is a very positive side, but what I can say is even the other impurities, if you see, like iron is not there or nickel is not there in all this jewelry. So whoever are the manufacturers of this type of jewelry has made it into their manufacturing that they will only use silver and copper. A bit of zinc, obviously for flowability and all, is fine. That's not an issue which is there. So this is the good part. Now what we want to see is what is the balance 36%. Of that 36%, 24% are the outliers which had difference in the purity. Some four samples or 8% had higher cadmium or nickel. You can see the nickel content is ranging up to 50% also. And that is, if you see sample 46, the chain had the problem. It was not the pendant. Pendant was okay. The chain was only 50%, where we need to ensure that how we can make that chain. Even if you, sample 48 had a problem where the lock was better, but the pendant was of a lower purity. There was certain sample 28 was having higher cadmium, which which is a cause of concern for us. So 10% of the sample had higher cadmium. So that's a cause of concern for us, where we need to really see how we can mitigate that. Sample 17 had 19% cadmium, and 46 had 50% of tin in it, nickel in it. So this is an important slide where we need to educate our people. I don't know how much you will be gaining by adding cadmium of 50% or nickel of 50% instead of using silver. So, and these are small jewelry. These are 1 gram, 2 gram. I don't know how much money you can gain, but this is very important. And the next 12%, 6 samples, 12% had no silver, while they were being sold as 92.5. This is again a cause of concern for all of us, and we need to really think, how do we control this? How do we work it out? It had cadmium 24% in one. It had zinc at a higher percentage. You can see there was a sample 45 which was only zinc, 97% zinc. There was no silver in it. It's 92.5 stamped jewelry which is being sold. Sample 4 had again zinc in it. So there's a good part, I would say, that cadmium is reducing, which was a cause of our thought process. But we need to really educate our manufacturers how we can work it out. I can pause here if any questions on this before I go forward.
I'm Rahul Mehta from Silver Emporium.
Yeah, Rahul.
Hi. So the sample pictures which you have taken, or the product sample kit which you have taken, it doesn't represent even 1% of the jewelry which is sold in India. So how accurate this data would reflect the kind of jewelry which is sold in India?
No, I understand your point. There is a lot of jewelry which is piles or this thing which are really going into a huge quantity. But we just wanted to say, because this is online, and online right now is being bought by, I think, most of the people who are in the urban sector. I do understand your point. There's a huge quantity of jewelry which is sold for temple. When you see, I'll show you the temple jewelry, you will find a very different picture. But the piles, very different picture. We have not gone into that. That's why we said we have not gone into the shop. And I really understand your point is valid. We can do that exercise. We can try to do that exercise, and it can present a very different picture. I do understand your point, but yeah, this was one study which at least gave key whoever are our people who are buying online silver jewelry are getting a good stuff. And that is the positive thing. And this is across the whole country. It's not that we have picked up only 5 jewelers and taken that. I have not picked up Tanishq or XYZ jewelers who are well-known names, but that's the thing. So that's there. Now if I go, this is another case study which I think it's an interesting one. I had few old gold coins, silver coins with me, bahut purane, and some are, I think, 1940s, 50s. My mother had 100-gram silver Ganesh Lakshmi, which was there, coin. So I thought, let me test it. When we did this study, I thought, let me test it. It's an interesting result. We had the first sample is the recent sample of one of the made by one of the refiners, which says 99.88, so slightly lower than 99.9% what was declared. Then you know that King Edward coins which are being sold, or George coins or guineas which are being sold. So one was 56%, but other was good, 95%. Then we had the Lakshmi Ganesh small coins, which was again 89, the other was less. So there has been inhomogeneity in the country in terms of coins being sold. If you see samples 6 and 7 were almost 100% gold. The interesting is what I showed, that 100-gram coin which I had, I think that must be very old, 1970, 60, 70 or something. But it had 98.83% silver, which was there. I was thinking it should be only 50%, but it was that. And the last has been, we had a cutlery set of silver. And I was thinking it may be only 20-30% silver, but what we got was 87-89% silver. So there is a positive thing. In the coins which is happening, and by and far lows, if you see current scenario coins which are being sold are all on the positive side. The next cause of concern is this, which I have already shown in my last this thing, is the temple jewelry. And this, if you see, is a cause of concern where actually we got a lot of scrap which we had to melt it out. Maybe it was almost a ton of scrap from a temple which came. And we segregated it into 3 parts. The first part was all the khadao and temples and all those things, which by and large were good. By and large had a higher purity, 88. And what we wanted morely to study, and we couldn't do that whole analysis because refining, because it had high cadmium. You see almost 40% of cadmium. So we couldn't touch that because if I start melting it, the whole factory will go into a different this thing. But the cause of concern is not even that. The cause of concern is the chhatris which the devotees buy, and that is that has its only cadmium. It has almost 50% cadmium. So this is a cause of concern for everybody, how we can really regulate that, how because you are just buying, you are giving it to God, and you're just buying 100% of that, giving 100% money, but what you are being actually given only 50% of this thing. So this is what is the analysis of this thing. I'm not going much into it. I think all of you know cadmium results into skin irritation, redness. It may also have a risk of cancer. Nickel also has a skin allergy. It is banned in UK. Up to a certain percentage of cadmium is only allowed. So we need to be really careful on this activity. It is bad for the human health, all these heavy metals which are shown on the left. It is bad even for our environment, all the heavy metals. So what should we do? So these were the findings which I've already discussed, the first 2 parts. So there is a definite need for an engagement from all stakeholders is necessary to create a safer jewelry market. This includes manufacturer, consumable regulator, and policymakers whose collective action can drive meaningful change. And what is the future? We also would like to see if research can bring out good innovative detection methods which can help to detect cadmium, nickel, and other elements. India should slowly go ahead and adopt the global best practice to inform policy and guidelines that protect consumers. But more than this, our advice is to the stakeholders, to the manufacturers who are manufacturing this jewelry or this thing, is to really integrate the best practices, have a good quality measures, and also see how you can have a good sourcing of your raw materials, whether you are buying silver, copper, in order to make the jewelry, get the best amount of material and follow certain standards. Because it is always good or safe for your people who are earning for you, in the sense who are manufacturing for you in the factory. I was in a session with the government where there was a huge amount of, there was a petition which was filed of this thing, cadmium zinc jewelry. And there was an equal amount of people who were saying that this should be there because their livelihood depended on that. But, and they says it doesn't harm the consumer because they were putting almost 15 micron of copper, silver plating over it, which is fine. But what happens to the employees or the persons who make it? So that's the thing which is a cause of concern, and we should look into it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Goyal, I have a question, sir. The study that you undertook and the results that you've shared, these were blind samples. We don't know. They were all procured online. But we don't know who were the retailers that they were procured from. So just at the outset, what are a couple of best buying practices for somebody as a consumer that you would say one should ensure? Because as you've said, all these samples that were procured, they were being sold as silver with 92.5 content, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't turn out to be that way, and at least 5 of those samples had no silver at all. So just as a lay person and a consumer who loves to buy silver, what is the behavior that I can ingrain in myself and teach others when they go out to buy silver?
It's very difficult to say that, very difficult. It's only regulation which can make it. You bring hallmarking of silver jewelry into the picture. Plus, definitely, it's only highlighting. Highlighting the 0% jewelry, who are the ones? Until as the people who buy it, test it, make people aware that this is the jeweler who is doing this thing, then only you can be aware of it. Otherwise, you're just buying the jewelry with
Just for all of us to know, which region has the best quality of silver they were seeing?
No, we have not analyzed that. For purposely, we didn't analyze it. Purposely, we didn't put any names here, just to not be region specific on all this 5 non-compliance or the 36 non-compliance people.
That's actually a very astute decision. This is the silver conference. We are not here to name, shame, and whatever.
No.
So right now, a big thank you for sir. Can we have a round of applause for Ankur Goyal ji? I would now like to, sir, please stay on the stage. I would like to request the director of Radisson Metals Limited, may I request Mr. Rajkumar Modi, sir, to join us on the stage to present a memento to Mr. Ankur Goyal.